We're in Haines, Alaska, and we'll check out the Museum and Cultural Center. The Hammer Museum. Not named after a guy named Hammer, but the Hammer Museum.
Back and forth and they fall down. And that's paper mache. It's gorgeous. And then our other four are all fiber.
Well, I missed a turn. It just accidentally drove out onto this dead-end road and ran across this guy. Oh, come on, move. A horned owl. It's like on the horns of an animal. No, these are not alive.
She got a bad eye?
Kind of. She has chronic.
Can you see the bear working along the fence? That's a fish counting device. It forces the fish into where they can be counted. The bears, of course, like it. Mama bear with a fish.
Oh, I got her.
Get her? Beautiful downtown Haines. Overlooking the bay. Benji and I are out for a walk, and I looked back at the camper. It's in the lower left. It's amazing how small we are in this world up here. That is a hanging glacier, and at the foot of it you'll see a huge waterfall. That's the water draining out from the glacier. It's called hanging because it doesn't gently slope down into the valley. And we approached Juneau. The Juneau Glacier laying very low just below the mountain behind that hill. We'll visit that later. Front of the line, that means the last one off. I'm at the Downtown Convention Center in Juneau, Visitors Center also, and they have a totem out front, of course, which many places do. But if that isn't Uncle Sam at the very top, I'll eat my hat. A winter afternoon in Juneau. The nest is flat on top. I never realized that. This is the Capitol building of Alaska. There's no dome on it, but those columns are made out of marble. I parked out in front in the governor's spot. They have out in front a copy of the reproduction of the Liberty Bell. It's a real bell too. Some of the streets are pretty narrow. Of course, they are left over from the horse and buggy days. They seem to do pretty good. Traffic isn't a problem, at least not on Sunday. And the glacier itself, along with its icebergs. The air coming down the valley is very cold, although it's quite comfortable if you're in the sun. The lines you can see in these rocks are by the other rocks being dragged across it on the bottom of the glacier. Scrapes the grooves out. This is the downtown tourist area right near the docks. We came back the next day and it was overcast, and I did not realize how dark blue the ice is in a glacier. If you look carefully, you can see some sockeye salmon working their way upstream. They're very dark red with a white ridge-like on the top of them. And we've left Juneau for Wrangell, and it is deep, dim, dark, and dreary. For $80 I did get a cabin, since we'll be on board overnight. The dog has to stay in the camper, but I can visit him in every port about every 4 hours. It has its own shower, it's a full bathroom, and a little storage area here. It's clean. I forgot to mention the Gideons have been here also. We're down in the car hold of the ship. Going through the Wrangell Narrows here, and as you can see the channel is very narrow. We're headed toward the village of Wrangell. It's a fishing village. We will start at the Wrangell Museum and Visitors Center and Civic Center, all wrapped up in one building. The Russian imperial flag is displayed because this area was once controlled by Russia. On the totem, the guy on the bottom is carrying the most weight. He's also the most important representation on the totem. This is inside the museum.
The low sloping peaked roof was held up by 4 structural posts.
From totems to dead animals to some pretty good artwork. We're at Petroglyph State Park. About the only thing known about the pictographs is that they're about 8,000 years old. They have no idea what the symbols mean, or for sure who did it, although the symbols do have some resemblance to the Tlingit. That's the local Native Americans' totem work that's still being used today. They're only visible during low tide, as they're below the high tide level. Has a rope attached to it, so it's been used as an anchor. Even Benji's getting in on the hunt, but he's looking for something to eat, of course. Oh, or a place to pee. And this would be downtown Wrangell. Some of the streets in Wrangell are very narrow, and I've seen this in other Alaskan towns also. Obviously left over from the 1800s when the town was first being built. There's very little buggy traffic, so they really didn't need much more than this.